still rolling?
We're still rolling. Welcome to episode 31 of 4th and 3 Dudes. I'm Chris Damma coming to you from here in Peachtree Corners, Georgia. Gentlemen, go ahead and introduce yourselves to all of our listeners out there.
Well, my name is Bernie. Undefeated against Texas down here in St. Mary's, Georgia. And who's that down in the basement again?
Nice.
You guys are so mean, picking on the fat kid. Come on. I'm Cord. All right, let's get rolling.
All right, well, let's go ahead and start off. What you drinking? Somebody else want to go first? I usually go first. But...
Go ahead, Cord.
Oh, okay. Our new sponsor.
Uh-oh.
God.
Oh.
Michelob Ultra.
Huh?
Ultra embarrassing. Did you guys see that game?
No.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay. Well, I thought it was because Landman was starting back up again. You're getting back into
No,
Ultra.
that's a good show. The one that I saw was a bad show.
Okay, well, we'll get into that in just a minute.
You might need more than one Mick Ultra.
Yeah.
Jumping ahead.
Yeah. How about you, Bernie?
Went back to the Makers and Ginger Ale.
Gotcha. I am going with starting off with the Sweetwater's Winter Warmer Festive Ale.
Nice and cozy.
Nice. Very good. Very good.
Fancy boy.
Oh, I don't know about fancy. I got one waiting in the background, though. We'll get into that one in a minute. Depends if we get through this one first. But, all right, well, since you've already alluded to it, Cord, we'll go ahead and talk about them Beavers.
Oh, you don't want to talk about our new sponsor?
Oh, I thought your new sponsor was the Ultra, Mick Ultra.
That's my new sponsor.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my goodness. I thought losing to Sam Houston was bad.
Yeah.
Jeez, the Tulsa Kings are real, apparently. I think Sly dropped off some gummies at the Beaver Hotel. Actually, no. Both teams were 2-7 coming into that contest. Had Clash that, the highlights. I wrote them all down. Here, watch. Here, I'll read them to you. Game time, it was even Steven.
Oh, on the road.
All right, so first two drives for Beavers, 12 yards of offense.
Ooh.
Then they had a kickoff return for 30 yards. That was good, but a block in the back, half the distance to the goal. Wide receiver makes a great catch on the sideline, 15 yards. Taunts the DB who's on the ground, 15-yard penalty. The second punt snap bounced on the way of the punter, and that was almost lost. Super easy pass interference calls. All I have to do is just throw it deep to the sideline. DBs don't look back. They just kind of block the ball. Flag. 4th and 17 on the 50, and we line up to go for it. Quarterback pooch kick, 10 yards. Awesome. We've had 8 different O-line combinations this year. Hankerson was running over his own lineman, watch blocking for him. My goodness, the only thing good for this game was like the hot shower and the buffet at Shoney's after the game. I had to turn it off before the second half. They pulled Johnson out. He was missing everybody and put Malik in. I was like, well, you know what? I got to go make sourdough. Good luck, guys.
But then they pulled him out.
Go ahead. What?
But then they pulled him out.
Yeah.
It's like your third string quarterback.
First time.
Yeah.
But, on a brighter note, they had a true freshman quarterback, Tristan Tia, I think his name is.
Yeah.
Went in the fourth, 8 for 11, 141 yards and 2 touchdowns. And then Baby Brock Bowers, Trent Walker finally got his first touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
And to end on a good note, we are still number 1 in the Pac-12.
You are. And you got a bye week coming up.
And, I was about to say even better. You're going to win this weekend.
Definitely going to win.
No. That's not a given. You underestimate.
Find a way to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might lose another couple of coaches or something. Who knows? Holy
My
smokes.
goodness. Oh, brutal.
Yeah. I saw they were down 31-0 before they were finally able to get those last couple of touchdowns there.
I don't know. I didn't watch it. They might have been garbage TDs. I don't know. With the third string in for the Kings.
You were making sourdough.
Right. And that sourdough was good. It was very good. We finished it all.
Woo-wee.
All right. Well, hopefully they'll be able to pull it together for the conference or their conference championship game.
Oh, hell no. I'm betting against them all the way. I'm putting the whole house on it.
Oh, then they're set to win. But we'll get to
They've
that
been
part.
set to win a couple games.
Yeah. No, but I mean, in fact, if you're betting against them, they'll definitely.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? If that happens, I win both ways.
Yeah.
I win money if they lose, and if they win, I win on the inside.
On the inside, where it really counts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Rose Bowl, here we come. Pac-12 champions.
All right. Well,
Gotta get my shirt, everything.
Well, let's get into the other big game of the weekend for us. How about them Dogs?
About them.
Goodness gracious. 35-10 win over Texas in Athens. It was a Chamber of Commerce day for up there with the weather and from everything that all the people I talked to that were up there. And man, it was one of those things. Offense started off really, really well. Defense doing well. Had a little bit of a lull in the middle, but goodness gracious, into that third quarter and going into the fourth quarter. All right, Bernie, what were some of your big takeaways from the game?
Well, I do have the results, and Sark, Kirby is your daddy. So, it was, I'll highlight a couple of things, and I want to kind of zoom out, but it was just a different. It was Down and Dirty Dogs is the article that Ainsley sent me, which is fitting because Dirty Dan Jackson was back on the sidelines visiting this weekend. So, but it really highlighted differences between the two teams. I mean, we were aggressive. It was probably Bobo's, best game. I mean, he's had some really great games this season, but I mean, good grief. And then Schumann, called a great game too. Just kept bringing the pressure. We didn't always get home, but it affected Arch. Arch had I thought, a good game. He looked good until the fourth quarter. But the pass rush at least affected the throw. The timing was off, or we got to him and caused that fumble late. And then, I want to talk about setting the edge. DeMello Jones just, every time they, swung it out to his side, he set the edge. There's one time he only got a finger on a cleat, but it was enough. And then there was a time he set it, and Raylan Wilson came in and cleaned up. And so we were just a more physical team. And I think it comes down to the play calling. Fourth quarter, it really kind of flipped the script, and going for it on fourth down was aggressive. And then Kirby said, "You know what? Let's just steal possessions." And he said, "I've got Woodring and Jones been practicing this onside kick, and it worked perfectly." So he was more aggressive than Sark. If you look at that onside kick, they had a player there that could at least made a move and gotten a hand on the ball, if not more. But he just sat there waiting for the ball to get to him. And I thought that in the post-game press conference really kind of set the tone for how we look at these programs going forward. Because I think this is, there's wins where you really see your program in a different light. And this is a new era we haven't well, Nama and I, we cut our teeth in the Ray Goff era. So we've seen some, program defining losses. But you think back to the hobnail boot, Wonder Rick, the trip up to Notre Dame, 2017. This is a new era since we won the 2 national championships. And I think this really kind of showed that there's a team that can come into Athens with all the money, with a star quarterback, that's getting all that money, and we go to work. And I think that really played out Saturday, that we had more of a team effort, and it worked. It worked in our favor, and I was just really proud, to watch. We watched it again Sunday morning, at the late brunch. So it was a fun night to be a Dog.
Definitely was. How about you, Cord?
I think Georgia right now is the best team in the SEC. The way they're playing, the way A&M didn't show up the first half, and the way Bama had the 3 turnovers. I mean, it's like Major League Baseball. You know, you can be the best in the beginning of the season, but if you don't peak there at playoff time, and you get bounced out. So I think they're doing that. You know, and being third, you know, if they're third place in the SEC, I think that's the best place to be for a national championship.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to worry about the conference championship. You get a week of recovery and rest. You have no risk of missing the playoffs. And then there's a possibility where you get a chance to skip the first round.
Yeah. No, we'll talk about all that a little bit later. But yeah, I mean,
jumping ahead again.
Well, no. So I mean, again, that's talking about those scenarios and things like that. But
you set the table.
You did. I mean, again,
Yeah,
it's foreshadowing. You did a great job.
That's what I do.
Great job. But I mean, I guess going back to some of the things you were talking about, Bernie. I mean, DeMello Jones. That was that series where he did get the finger on there. It was a series of 3 plays in a row, I believe, where he was on one side of the formation, got the tackle, was on the other side of the formation, tripped him up, got the tackle, and then the next play he defended the pass, and then they had to punt the ball. I mean,
tackle where he just kind of slammed the kid down. I think
he body slammed him. He picked him up.
Yeah, just those plays you're talking about, just kind of energized him, pepped him up.
Oh yeah, no, totally. But then the other thing with going back to the onside kick, Bellamy, Devin Bellamy, who was a former. Well, anyway, no, former player. I mean, he was talking about the onside kick, and he was going back looking at some of Texas's other games, and you talked about that kid waiting for the ball. He actually took the step. He turned to the side and took a step going to go cover the ball. And he said every one of the previous kickoffs, it's like they watched it. They knew that he was the one who did that. He did that on that play, and he turned back around. But that step he took the other direction was the difference in the distance between when Cash Jones got to the ball. I mean, it was watching his video on that was pretty cool, showing how that worked out. And it's just, again, those small margins that they were able to look at that and see, or be able to pick up on that tendency for that player and know exactly where to go in that formation for that onside kick, which was our first successful onside kick since 2013. I mean, before Kirby was even coaching us. I mean, it went back to the Richt era. It's been that long since we've had a successful onside kick. But yeah, I mean,
were they expecting it?
Sark admitted they were prepared.
Yeah, he knew there was going to be
out there.
No, they didn't have their hands team out there, but he'd been talking about he even said it before the game or in a couple of interviews. It's like he knows there's going to be something. Like we had the fake punt. We tried to do the fake punt against them and things like that. And then Kirby sniffed out their fake punt in one of the SEC championship game or whatever it was. I mean, it's like he knew something was coming. He didn't know what, he didn't know when, but he knew something was coming. he's still his daddy. But yeah, I mean, DeMello Jones, Gunner, I mean, again, he had 5 incompletions. He was 20 for 25 and 4 just one bad throw. And it's one of those things where I think he was just believing he could fire the ball through there or whatever. That linebacker made a good play on it. But I mean, responsible for 5 touchdowns. I mean, 5 incomplete passes. I mean, the 4 touchdown passes. Noah Thomas, I mean, they have got their chemistry is amazing already together. But yeah, I mean, the 2 fourth down plays that we went for it on were both great calls. And I mean, Bobo's reaction, going back to what you said about him, his reaction after that first touchdown, showing him in the booth, that is the most fired up he has been. It's like he knew everything was going to work out, everything was going to do it. He was on fire, and he was just all into his bag of tricks for that game. So
deep into his bag.
Yeah. But I mean, almost everything they called was working. So yeah, George, going back to your point, Cord, I mean, I think we're definitely the best team in the SEC right now. I mean, especially the way we're playing, and yeah, it's just it's a fun thing to watch. It's a fun thing to watch for sure.
Yeah, we kind of talked towards it, but just looking at the 2 post-game press conferences where Sark admitted that they had prepared for something eventually.
But they didn't know what.
Right.
And then you had Kirby talking about players looking for checks and he's got a team that wants to hit somebody. I mean,
we'll play that clip here.
It's the approach we take. We're gonna dominate and try to win the fourth quarter. It's what we do in practice. It's what we do in the off season. It's what we build our core culture around, is being the more physical team. And you have to recruit physical players, and they have to buy into that process. I don't know that a lot of these kids nowadays, they want to check. They don't want physicality. And if you have the check and no physicality, you end up with nothing. So we're not just getting checks at our place. We're hitting people.
That's what I mean about a program-defining win, that they can buy a roster, and we just kind of go to work. And that was a total team effort. Everybody was bought in. The crowd was great, sounded great, and the coaches they coached their ass off from top to bottom, from Kirby down to you know who. So yeah. Again, a great night to be a Dog.
Yeah, I mean, and then Tara Thomas, friend of the show, my co-coach for my assistant coach with volleyball, but she's always there at the games and talked about the fact that it was an incredible atmosphere at the game. They brought back out those lighted wristbands, but said they worked much better. Were not nearly as distracting as they were the first time against Alabama. But also talked about the fact that. Talk about difference in the programs, the fact that that Texas didn't travel nearly as well in terms of their presence in the stadium as Georgia did when we went over there to Austin. So she said thought that was pretty interesting, especially talked about, again, all the planes that had to be diverted from the Athens airport to other airports because they didn't have enough places to park them with all the celebrities trying to fly in, or Texas oil people or whatever. But
Conahey.
Yeah.
Yeah, he left a little early, and shout out to Jennifer. She said, all right. Got to catch a plane.
Got to go catch my flight.
Yeah. And speaking of the Tara too, she's actually the one who I didn't see that CJ left the field hurt. Yeah. And she was asking me or texting me about that, wanting to know who was it that went off the field and went to the injury tent. I'm like, what are you talking about? And then I'm like, oh, there it is. So, again, hopefully his injury is not going to keep him out too long. I know he's week to week on the injury report with a knee, but
which should come out soon. But yeah, it was next man up, and they slid Raylan over, and Chris Cole came out, and if anything, they were better off. But yeah, we need to get CJ back. Yeah,
Justin Williams came and played a lot too. So all of them did.
That's another thing I wanted to talk about. Cord mentioned we're the best team in SEC right now. We're also, as healthy as we've been. Mm-hmm. The offensive line is clicking. Texas didn't put anybody on their injury report last week, and we had guys missing games that would be starting. But I mean, we're as healthy as we've been since the beginning of the season, if not before. Yeah. So I think that's a factor too. The way, and this is Kirby's type of team. I think he relates to these players. He wasn't a heralded safety, but I think he's having the most fun coaching this season, even more than when we had, like we talked about before, 5 and 4 stars stacked up on the 3 deep. So, again, just really fun to watch.
Yeah. No, I mean, it is just, and that's one of those things that all the things we were worried about at the beginning of the season. I mean, I guess entrusted them, know that people are coming off the injury or being injured, that our offensive line was different almost every game, the first 4 or 5 games. I mean, getting past, if we had this offensive line when we played against Alabama, I mean, I don't think it would be a contest. I mean, in terms of what we were able to do and the one play that kept us away from it, it was, again, you having a freshman over there and 3rd string, 4th string tackles in there trying to block people. So if we can stay, for the most part, healthy, I mean, all those guys coming in, and the defense, again, with Schumann, going back to that, it's everybody worried and complaining about it. We're affecting the quarterback in ways that are making the quarterback inaccurate. And which is helping our defensive backfield. So they're looking better because we're getting more pressure on them. Maybe not getting all the sacks. I think we had 3 this week, but I mean, yeah, getting the pressure, affecting the throws, creating the havoc and things like that Kirby's talked about in the past is the recipe we've needed, and they are starting to be able to do all those things when they weren't early in the year. It's just we're growing up, going through the season. So
absolutely.
But yeah, so. Well, I guess we could talk about some of the other games that happened this weekend, some of the other big games. I guess one of the biggest one was that Texas A&M comeback.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I missed most of that. But, yeah, that's not a good look for – we were just over at Brendan Frank's saying, they're Hokie fans. And they were talking about Franklin getting hired yesterday and how they were breathing a sigh of relief because they were worried they'd end up with Shane Beamer. That was going to be a safe landing spot, but that's not a good look. He said this week, I can't remember if it was after the game, but he said a year from now we'll be paying attention to the college football playoff seeding. And I'm just like, your time might have been last season because you got that quarterback back and you've regressed. I think he's a good position coach, but South Carolina is in deep thought right now how to cut bait.
Imagine that halftime speech. All right, we just need 1 point, guys. 1 point.
Well, I mean, speaking of that, I mean, I didn't see it. I did watch the game, but it was like, again, switching between all of them. But they said that he was going up and down the field like he already won a heavyweight fight at halftime, going into halftime. He was jumping around, like whooping up the crowd. And I don't know. It was just did not act like he was going or he'd been there before. He did not act like he thought that there was any chance that Texas A&M would be able to come back and do anything like they obviously did. But, I mean, they could have had another 3 interceptions in that first half that they didn't. I mean, that was as bad a first half or about a half of football as Texas A&M or many teams have ever played. And the fact that they were down like that for the way they flipped the switch in the second half, that was crazy. But
yeah, I think they're off this week. So maybe I think they are. But maybe they use that as kind of a way, look, we got to focus. We can't just take a half off against South Carolina or anyone down the road, especially Texas, I guess, is who they have after this weekend.
Yeah.
They got Samford.
Yeah, they're not off. It's not officially off, but yeah, it's Samford.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't write them down in my book, so I just assumed they're off. But so yeah, I mean, they were the cream of the crop until they kind of messed the bed on Saturday morning.
Yep. Then the other big game we had a couple more big games, but I mean that Oklahoma-Alabama game. I mean, outgame your opponent by almost double, and
Still lost.
Still found a way to lose.
Beavers have done that.
Sorry.
I don't know why you got bringing it up again.
Not the first.
Not the first, but yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I guess if you add in Oklahoma's interception return yardage, they're probably pretty close. They're a lot closer. But,
yeah, that 87-yard pick six.
Yeah, I mean, that just shows the difference. You mentioned, playing when we played Bama, we couldn't affect the quarterback, but Oklahoma affected what's his name, whatever his name is,
Simpson.
Ty Simpson, and it made all the difference in the world. They marched down the field, and then boom, they're taking it back to the house for 86-yard return or whatever. So
and that's what Florida State did the first game of the year. They were running him ragged.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's how you beat Bama.
That's all. Is not Saban-esque. So
yeah, and Oklahoma didn't even have their best defensive lineman. He was out. He was out for the game. So that was the other crazy part about it, where a lot of people started switching. They thought that whether or not Oklahoma would be able to affect the quarterback as much. But yeah, he did. He seemed lost. I mean, they had I think 3 turnovers in the whole rest of the games they played this season. Had 3 of them in that one game. So, but
doggy.
But But yeah, I mean, speaking of Ole Miss, they had their hands full with Florida for a while.
Up until the fourth quarter. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was actually Florida was ahead 24-20 going in the fourth quarter, and then Ole Miss scored 2 touchdowns. But, they continue to roll, another 300-yard passing game, another 500-yard offensive show. I think we were talking about Lacey had 225 yards and 3 TDs, so good game, a lot of yards. Crowd was pumped up, and they're all supporting the team. So it was good to see. But man, they're just hanging on.
Yeah. Yep. And then other games with Georgia Tech, we made another one of their comebacks. They were down to Boston College, had a coach, and then Tech got the lead and had a little bit of a coaching snafu right at the end that almost made it so Boston College could get back in or have a chance to win the game. They were able to get in position for a help.
I missed that.
They were down near the goal line. They were in position to kick the field goal to go ahead, and it was a third down play. From listening to some of the press conferences, I think he thought that they had gotten the first down, and he called a timeout because I think he was trying to tell, or was going to bring the guys over, tell them where he wanted them to try to set up and get position for the field goal, whether or not to move it in the middle or whatever, and run it down so it'd be the last play of the game. But it was not a first down. It was fourth down. And he said it was a misunderstanding with what he thought was happening. So they ended up having to kick the ball then, but it gave Boston College 11 seconds. They got the kickoff. It was a touchback, or it was around the 25. Then they had a 25, 30-yard pass down the middle, used their timeout, and they had a Hail Mary 1 second left from the 50-yard line that fell just short. That it basically gave them a chance to win, where they should have been able to take the clock all the way down, call the timeout, and not have to worry about it. So
like our Georgia Tech friend Miranda we had on earlier in the season, this is another game they played down because Boston College, did they have a win?
No, I don't think they had 2 wins in total, I think, on the year.
Okay, but that's a game where Tech was a superior team and just didn't play up to it. So
yeah, which affected them again in the I guess not bowl championship, whatever the playoff standings that came out. They're still at number 16 with that, but with Miami being ahead of them and Virginia.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I guess the other game, Missouri had the offensive player of the week with Ahmad Hardy rushing for 300 yards and getting 3 touchdowns too.
And it seemed like 400 or 500. Yeah.
They did. I think he said so. I think it was their senior night, and so he had said something to Drinkowitz or whatever about need to go ahead and get 200 yards, and then Drinkowitz says, "Well, why didn't you go ahead and get 3?" And didn't think it was going to happen, but he certainly did. So him and Lacey were both the standouts from the offensive side. That probably were the 2 that would have beat out Gunner for the offensive player of the week.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, all right. Well, we talked about a lot of those games. You want to go over our what happened with the locks of the week?
Oh yeah, yeah. Let's do that.
Yeah.
So I took the Dawgs, and they covered easily. They didn't need the -6 because they easily covered. As we all know, we've covered that. So I move up to 6-5-1. Nama had Ole Miss, who did win, but they couldn't cover against the Gators, so he's 4-7-1. And Cord needs to take the rest of the season off. He falls at 3-8-1 with Bama not covering or even winning.
Bama was a lock.
Well,
when's the last time they've lost at home?
Your opposite play.
When's the last time they've lost at home?
They haven't. Yeah. The first one under DeBoer.
Yeah, that's the first. But yeah, this was the one where you were opposite. You said you wanted to pick Oklahoma, so you decided to pick Bama, right?
Yep.
Well, I kind of lied. and got caught.
Oh goodness. Yeah,
All
man.
Right.
Those picks are not going well for us.
All right, so who do you guys want to lose this week? I'll pick them.
Yeah, we can talk about that. But I guess going back to I mean, we could talk about the playoffs, the rankings and stuff as they came out now, and how it is making the rest of the season look. But I mean, Georgia ended up. I mean, it's still the Big Ten boys up in first and second place with Ohio State and Indiana. Then Texas A&M stayed up at 3, but Georgia found a way to slip into number 4, the number 4 spot in the rankings. So, which again, if it started this coming up week, we'd have a bye in the first round. So,
yeah, Bama losing caused a major, well, not a major, but a pretty significant shift in this week's rankings. And I tend not to put a whole lot of faith in them just now. It's more important, I think, to evaluate how they're making these decisions. And I just don't understand the Notre Dame decision. I don't understand, they say strength of schedule, but I don't think they put as much value in some things that they say they will when it comes, time to put it out there. So I think going into the last game of the season, the conference championship games, that's when you have teams really need to jockey for position and try to get that bye week in the playoffs, try to get the home game, home playoff game, and things like that. So it's still fairly new. I don't think it's well, that's an off-season topic, but it's not my favorite having to figure out the 12 best teams in the nation when there's still definite degrees of separation, I should say.
No, and then some of the talk that they had about the way they place teams in tiers just doesn't make any sense either. So
if you're doing that, just take the top 4 teams like we used to have. That's the first tier. You're basically saying, but again, I guess there's the counter argument is Georgia got a bye last year, and Notre Dame's schedule was soft last year, especially soft. It's soft this year. It was softer last year, I think. And they beat us head to head. So I don't know. Anyway.
But didn't all the teams that had a bye last year lose?
They did.
Yep.
All the teams that had the bye last year lost. But I mean, I think that's one of the things with us that made us a little bit different. I mean, if you just wanted to put our team this year in place of that one, we had so many issues. I mean, obviously Beck was out and Gunner came in, but I mean, all the issues we had at wide receiver and with our offensive line was still so beat up and everything else. So again, there's a lot of time left for things to happen, but I was listening, one of the podcasts I listened to, this got Jim Donnan and Ratty Nabulsi on it, talked about the fact that last week, if you make it to the national championship game, I think it was last week was the midpoint of the season. So it was like 71 days into the football season. There's another 70 days until the national championship game. Or something like that. But or I guess maybe it was a week and a half ago, something like that. So, and that Kirby had him install new sod on one of the practice fields. And the last time he did that was in 2022 at this point in the season. So anyway, he thinks they're going to be needing those fields for a little bit longer. And I mean, it is. We are playing so well right now, and the chance. We talked about it a little bit in the pre-show when we were talking the fact that Georgia is actually in a really good position to still get in the SEC championship game because, I mean, going back to Texas A&M, every one of their wins in conference was from the bottom 8 teams in the league, or bottom 9 teams in the league. So they don't have the conference. The conference. So not a single one of their SEC wins is over a team. I mean, Missouri was the highest team in the conference that they beat, and they're the 8th team in the conference. So everybody else was 9 through 16.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it goes conference record, then head-to-head, and then strength of record. So yeah, I did pull it up.
Yeah,
I did pull it up. I'm reading John Smith posted Georgia's in the SEC championship game if Texas A&M loses to Texas because they have no head-to-head, and UGA is in higher conference opponent win percentage, and we would play Bama. If Alabama loses to Auburn, Texas A&M loses to Texas, and Bama loses to Auburn, and Ole Miss beats Mississippi State. Kentucky beats Vandy, and Florida beats Tennessee, and Ole Miss beats Mississippi State, and Texas beats Arkansas. So it's about how we match up with. It's a lot cleaner with the East-West, but now you've really got to think about the teams that you played and what their ranking was, how they're ending the season, and a lot of people don't want to go to Atlanta for the second week in a row. I'm not one of those. I want to play the SEC championship. If you win that, you're in, and that's guarantee. So,
but as of right now, if Bama wins out and A&M wins out, it's settled.
Yes.
Yeah.
They will definitely go. The both of them will definitely go, and then again, we're in a position where we're probably stayed in the top 4 unless Texas Tech really shows out and finds a way. But the worst case scenario, assuming that we win our next 2 games, is probably the number 5 seed and hosting Tulane or whatever right now.
Yeah.
But that's the worst case scenario. The best case, again, is whether or not you want to go ahead and win the SEC championship and then get the bye that way, or potentially having A&M and Alabama win out, and then you go slide in as the number 4 seed, and you get the bye week from the SEC championship game, and you get a bye week. So, again, you actually
Tulane,
got double.
You mean
got
James
double
Madison, right?
Well, the one that they put.
One of the 2, yeah.
Yeah, whichever one it is.
So why is that, in your opinion, worst case?
No, but that's the worst case. The worst seeding Georgia would have if we went out would be the number 5.
All right.
So
another thing to keep in mind, because we're talking about with Georgia, we're talking about Kirby Smart, who puts so much energy into recruiting. I mean, you're preparing for the SEC championship game in Atlanta, and you're also up against signing day, and then you've got the transfer portal to worry about. So there needs to be some changes to adapt to the fact that we now have teams, that may not want to go to their conference championship game, teams that are looking for that bye and jockeying for that bye, and I don't know, it's very convoluted, and I think it needs to be cleaner on one side or the other, either the off the field stuff with the transfer portal and the signing day, or on the field stuff. But, you have, like you said, Nama, the tiers. I mean, the tier don't even go there.
Yeah,
and maybe we shouldn't have these athletic directors who are currently searching for a head coach because they made the wrong hire, making these decisions. Maybe we need to go a different route. But because I read today, I forget who said it, but maybe the BCS was our best system. That's hard for me to stomach because
I know
because Georgia got screwed in that thing. I just think the 4-team playoff was the way to go, but it's about the haves and have-nots, and
Beavers went to the Fiesta Bowl. That was awesome.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier, Nam and I grew up cut our teeth in the Red Golf era, and I remember valuing a bowl game just so your coaching staff could have an extra 2 weeks with their players.
Yeah.
Why don't they just move, like, instead of December 3rd for high school signing and January 2nd for the portal, why don't they just move everything to like January 15th? What's the December 3rd reason?
It's because of the transfer portal. Because it's the whole thing with the signing day and all that. They got a transfer portal because they try to get those kids, if they come to their school, they need to get into their university so they're enrolled for spring practices.
So why don't they just push everything back 1 month? Can they not do that? So high school signing day will be January 2nd?
Well, I mean, my opinion, it's all built around parity. So you got these coaches. Well, James Franklin just hired at Virginia Tech. he can be poaching these players when the other head coach is distracted, and getting in recruits' homes because the coach going to the conference championship game can't eat mama's dinner, and then the transfer portal. So it's not set up the way it should be, but that's just my opinion.
No, I mean, I agree. I remember when you used to go to signing day all the time, Bernie, and I went with you a couple of times when it was in February. I mean, it was just after my birthday or whatever, that first or second week in February. And yeah, it was a big thing, but there was no transfer portal. If kids transferred, they had to sit out a freaking year anyway, so it wasn't as big a deal. But now I think it truly is because of that and getting the players. I mean, yeah, I think that and all the teams that are doing well, it hurts them more. The high school signing day is one thing, but I mean, again, how many of the kids that you get in a signing day are going to be with you for very long? That's the new thing. It's almost all of it's done. I mean, it's still done with when Kirby is such a good recruiter, but so much more is done in the transfer portal, bringing people in now. So yeah, they want them to be able to come in and be at their school and participate in off-season training and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we definitely need to delve into this in off-season. But the other side of it is on the high school athlete side. I do see some value as a high school counselor and talking to student athletes. The early signing period can be helpful to them. But then you're talking about, a small percentage of kids that are going to play at that level. So I don't know.
I think signing high school kids is as valuable as it was in the past.
Right, exactly.
They're going to get picked off if they're a stud and they can't get the money they want.
And they don't get playing time, and
so
they don't have the snaps, they think. I mean, we saw that with Nitro receiver last year. We convinced him not to go to the transfer portal. He stayed the spring, and he still wasn't satisfied with his snaps and his NIL deal. So I don't know where he is now, but he's not going to be in Atlanta.
Yeah. No. I mean, but those kids that do sign or the high school kids, a lot of them will actually try to enroll early now too. So, and again, they're going in January. I like the old system better. I still think it's a better off-season topic because this could go on forever.
Get off my lawn.
But anyway.
Yeah,
all right. Well, yeah. Let's go ahead and pivot to this week. Again, we've already covered the fact that Oregon State has a much-needed bye to get ready for Wazoo in 2 weeks in their de facto conference championship game. And Georgia, along the same lines, is playing against one of the worst teams in college football, the Charlotte 49ers. So
I might pick Georgia this week.
44 points.
Against the spread, hopefully. Yeah, that's
straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should see a lot of we might see Pugs get maybe 20 pass attempts or something. We're going to see a lot of Peanut and Bo Walker in the backfield. We're going to get some more defensive players in there, and some. What I'm most excited to see is really the backup offensive line, getting them some reps in there and keeping our offensive line healthy for going against Georgia Tech the following week. So, they are not good. I mean, talk about teams that are not good. Charlotte is not good on either side of the ball. So there's no reason. This isn't Austin Peay. This is
correct.
The other team we played early in the season. This is a chance to really get some late season before hopefully 2 trips to Atlanta back to back and get some starters, some rest, and some depth on the field.
Yeah, no, definitely agree. Get everybody in there, get a couple of series under their belt so they don't lose the momentum they've had. But keep people healthy. Keep people healthy. I mean, I think they give up an average of 475 yards of offense to their other teams, and
That's astounding.
yeah, it is. I think there's a 200-yard deficit between what they are able to amass offensively and what they give up, at least 200 yards. So, but yes, some of the other big games of note this week. I guess the game day is at USC and Oregon, but I guess Oregon's a 9.5-point favorite in that game, so that one be good. Game, yeah, like I said, game day is going to be there, and then Pitt, Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech has got to win this game. I mean, they've been having their issues the past couple of games. Lost to NC State, had the bye, came and almost lost to Boston College. So they got it. That game's in at Atlanta. So I think it's actually, is it a night game? I think it might be a night game.
7 o'clock.
But the other part of that is there are still tickets available.
Ouch.
Still tickets available on the Rambling Wreck website. So it's not even aftermarket tickets. It's still, I mean,
There's a school.
yes, through the school. I mean, it's crazy. And I mean, they are really having a good season. They've got a quarterback that is very close to surpassing Joe Hamilton as the top offensive player in the history of Georgia Tech.
Which is really, really, really big. I mean, that's
in it's significantly at least I think it's almost 7 or 8 fewer games he's going to play, and he's going to have the chance to do that. So I mean, everything that he has done, what Brent Key has done for Georgia Tech, the fact that they still struggle to get people to fill the stands is crazy, and which again is why that next week when they play in Mercedes-Benz, it's going to be 90% Georgia.
You're talking about the Saturday before Thanksgiving, which could affect ticket sales. Not season ticket holders like Chris Miranda, our buddy, but could affect ticket sales. And you got
students leaving.
Yeah, you got students leaving. You got Pittsburgh as an opponent, which is it's a pretty big game. It's a close line, 2.5. But
this is their.
I imagine there's not many Pittsburgh fans coming down. So, and it's not a big stadium anyway. But Nam alluded to, you got to think ahead to our game in the Benz the next Friday night, the day after Thanksgiving. They wanted this. They wanted the gate sales for this, and they're going to get it. But there are going to be a lot of Georgia fans that are ready to go. So that'll be interesting.
But I'm just talking about as a program. I mean, that's one of those things where you talk about the difference in programs. But this is it is probably one of their biggest games. It's going to get them into the ACC championship. It's probably one of the biggest games since. I mean, they're talking about it on 680 The Fan this morning. Probably the biggest game since the Citrus Bowl when they won the national championship. I mean, it's going to get them in the first time into potentially the football playoffs and things like that. So,
because right now they're on the outside looking in, right?
Yeah, they are, because they're. I mean, Miami is ranked ahead of them and Virginia.
Miami,
so
they're not.
There's Miami won't get in unless something crazy happens and they find a way to get into the ACC championship game. I mean, which is still a possibility somehow, but
very remote.
It is remote, but I mean, hey, it's college football, baby.
Yep.
So
you never know.
But anyway, all right. Well, I guess we should get in. Ole Miss. Do they have a game this week, or do they have a bye before the Egg Bowl?
Ole Miss has a bye.
Okay, gotcha. Are they coming for you, Cord?
It took them so long.
Cord can take a long, well-deserved nap this Saturday.
He's actually
and no Ole Miss.
He ain't napping. He's going to Ole Miss.
Headed to Oxford this Saturday to pick up my Division I mathlete.
Okay.
Yep.
We got a 95 in her final or test math test, something like that.
Nice.
Good for her.
Way to go,
man. The old block.
Yep.
Probably not.
Katie's coming home on Friday night. She flies in around 10 o'clock, so get her here for Thanksgiving break. But that'll be good. All right. So yeah, what are y'all thinking for your locks of the week? I mean, I think we should go first. We should get a chance to do it. Pick before Bernie does. Cord, you got any idea
Bernie's
what you're
stealing
going?
all our money.
I can still pick who you pick if you take mine. I've locked mine in already in my mind. So
In your mind,
take whoever you want.
all right. I think
It's small. It's it's slim pickings. I mean,
it is.
it's
It
hard.
is. Oh, Cord, do we need to call Meg, get her to come help you?
No, I know.
No, you're about to be man down. I thought you were about to choke out or something.
Yeah, I'm a little verklempt right now.
All right. Well, go ahead, Cord.
I'm taking the Nerds.
Oh,
-2.5 at home.
we're sorry, Miranda.
All right, sorry, Miranda.
Sorry,
Fast forward
Miranda.
a week. Wow,
It's like this
Tech lost by 21.
freaking kiss of death right there.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, I think I will once again try to pick against Florida and think the Hillbillies are going to be able to go down there and hopefully they'll be able to pull out the win. So Tennessee will beat Florida.
I got
-4. -4. Yep.
Probably a good pick, but I'm going down with Cord. I mean, I'm convinced. I mean, Georgia Tech, like Nama said, they have to win.
They're making a win this week. Then
it's a night game. They're on the outside looking into the playoffs. They're on the outside looking in for their championship game. I mean, they should want to. I feel Brent Key this week. I think he's going to have them ready to play. I think Haynes King is going to have them ready to play and block for him, and hopefully pick him up when he's had 35 carries for 130 yards or whatever. So yeah, I'll go down with Cord.
He just needs to talk to that defense.
You're coming down to the basement.
Let it say, man. This might be a good week for me, baby.
Hey, big swing for Nama.
Yeah, I mean, again, hopefully we still got enough games to be able to keep it going and be able to try to catch up to you, Bernie. I mean, you got a freaking
I always root against the Gators. I'd root against them against Saddam Hussein, Afghanistan, whoever. I mean, so I'm pulling for Nama ahead of even my pick. So kudos, Nama.
I appreciate that.
I'm not pulling. Let me make it clear. I'm not pulling for the Hillbillies.
Right.
I'm just rooting
against
for the Gators to lose. So maybe that's the noted meteor game in the SEC for us.
I was gonna pick ECU, but I don't want favorite cousin Kate to get mad at me.
No.
You're trying to make it through this episode without getting.
He didn't get yelled at last week, did he? I don't mean like nothing was brought up, so everything must have gone well.
I thought last week was the Memphis one.
Well, no, but I mean, you have no notes this week.
Oh yeah. I think he's clear. Well, we'll find out tomorrow. After she.
That woman.
Oh yeah. Did we mention previously about Ainsley winning the flag football championship? I know we talked about her being in the game.
I think we did. We didn't have the picture, and I sent you the picture.
Yep, I will. We'll throw the picture in there too. And speaking of other things, I had the privilege of going to see two of my former players at St. Martin's play in the Southern Athletic Association volleyball championships this past week. So we had two. One of them, Laura, she plays for Berry College, and Caroline, she plays for Rhodes College. And got to see them. They were at Oglethorpe University. Got to watch their first round match against each other. And Laura and Berry College came out on top. And Berry College ended up winning the semis and then taking the championship. So
wow,
I think it was actually a 5-peat for them. So they were the number 3 seed coming into it, but ended up winning the championship. So congratulations! Cool. Yeah, that was fun. I'll throw those pictures
now
here. So yeah, it was cool. The Berry Vikings were able to secure their, I believe it was their 5th championship in a row. So that was pretty awesome. So
yeah.
But anyway. All right. Well, unless there's anything else for the week, I mean, and then your more sponsors you need to give a nod to, Cord?
No, I lost a couple last week, I think.
Still
I'll tell
haven't
you what,
seen
I think
it.
Blackie over here got into the broccoli. Man, he's killing me.
Oh my goodness!
What are you doing there, Tom?
I thought I could smell something drifting up from down there. But anyway,
Oh,
Like
my eyes were watering.
a green haze.
yep. All right. Well, thanks to all of you that have listened this far and then watch. Please be sure to watch, like, subscribe, and tell all your friends. Tell all your friends about 4th and 3 dudes. But hopefully the Dogs will get a nice, easy win against the 49ers this weekend. But until next time, go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Go Nerds.